Today I'd like to show you a simple free tool that can turn any PDF into an interactive book. My kids love this because it feels special when it turns the pages. And it's just another one of the tools that I'm using to keep my digital classroom engaging. When we first went to distance learning, like you, I have collected or written PDFs for many years. I adore writing, and I have lots of great texts that I have purchased and written that I want my kids to be able to access. We know kids need to access more great nonfiction. So when we went distance learning, I was kerflummoxed at first. How do I deal with this? How do I get kids to access all of these great articles and texts that I've written or purchased over the years? I did a lot with Google Slides, and I've got lots of other videos and blog posts about how I'm using Google Slides. But this is another tool that just, again, brings the engagement to a different level and gives kids different opportunities. One of the strengths of this tool, in my opinion, is I looked at several of them. This is the only one that didn't require me to sign up. They didn't ask me for my email address. They didn't require anything. You can get a pro version, which I didn't do. And I think then, of course, they'll send you emails. But my inbox, oh my gracious, is yours as full as mine? It's just ridiculous. So I was super grateful not to have to give my email. And I also just really like the interactivity of this and how super, super easy it is. So why do Flipbook instead of Google Slides? Well, here, in my opinion, these are the pros and cons. A Flipbook is fun and it's interactive and it has that element of a real book, and the kids kind of go, ooh, a little like they do with Epic. One of the downsides of it is kids cannot really interact with the text. It is a PDF and they're not annotating it or anything like that. So when I use it, I often use it for the second or third read on texts that I have them do close readings with. So today I'm going to show you two texts that I've written that you can purchase in my TPT store, Ms. Cotton's Corner, if you'd like. And what I want the kids to do is they've read both of these texts, and now I want them to write a short compare and contrast piece on the two different populations that they read about. Both of these texts in my TPT store are differentiated, which means they come at 3 different levels. For today, what I have done is merged the PDFs for the Lexile 900, which is the level that's appropriate for most of my 5th graders. So all I do is I go here to choose file. Now I've already pre-merged my PDFs. If you need to do the same thing, it's very easy to just Google PDF splitter if you want to take some pages out, or PDF merge to put 2 together. And when you do that, you come up with all kinds of free ways to do that very simply and easily. Today, I'm going to have my kids look at 2 texts, the First Africans and the First Americans. So it's going to get in there, and there you can see it's loaded. And now I just say convert now, and it's going to do its thing. There are 7 pages of text total. All I'm putting in here is the text. In the resource that you can purchase, I've got vocabulary activities, I've got writing, I've got comprehension questions, I've got a whole bunch of stuff in there. But obviously, all I want the kids to have for the purposes of this activity is the text. So when it's done, it'll say, here you go, it's all done. If you want it in your email, you can enter your email, but you don't have to. Like I said, that's one of the things I loved about this. You'll find instead a couple of different things. First of all, your Flipbook URL to share or link. That's, to me, the key thing, right? You want to immediately click on that and highlight that. All right, and then Control-C to copy, because that's how my kids are going to access it. This second URL is if I want to go back later and change things. This is how I can access it. Key to know, since I've not given them any information, they have no idea who I am. So if I don't save those things right now, I will not be able to access this Flipbook again. I'll have to recreate it. What I'm going to do instead is go to my Google Classroom, and I'm going to go ahead and use that URL that I just grabbed to put this assignment in my Google Classroom. So when you're ready to assign this, Maybe you want to give it through the Google Classroom. Maybe you want to send it to your kids in an email. However you're going to get that to them, you just go ahead and click on that link. When they open that link, this is what they'll see. I always encourage my kiddos to click this box up here because to me, that takes away the distracting background and brings it really a little closer to you, full screen, and you have this nice black background to read against. So my students are going to read the first humans arrive in the Americas, which is a text they've already read. Isn't that a satisfying sound? I just love that. Turning pages makes my heart happy. So they'll read about the first Americans, which they have already read, and then they'll read about the experience of the first Africans in Jamestown. So we have a 4-page text and a 3-page text. When they are done, then they will be able to take this information and synthesize the 2 articles to write a compare and contrast essay. Flipbook is super easy and my kids are loving it. Like I said, it's just one more way that I can keep them engaged during distance learning and give them another way of interacting with text, which always makes my teacher heart happy. I hope this was useful to you. I hope Flipbook is a tool you give a try to. Thanks for watching and happy teaching.